What is going on, everybody? It's G Bear here, and today we are going to be talking about Ganyu. So, Ganyu, I mean, everyone has probably seen so much build videos and things like how Ganyu is basically broken and deals a lot of damage. So, today I'll just be talking about like how I personally would build Ganyu and generally the weapons that I would use for Ganyu and artifacts and the talents that you would need to level up for offensive, like as in main DPS or as a support. So first of all, the general use for Ganyu, in my opinion, she is basically going to be a staple in majority of the teams, especially if you're looking for an elemental reaction because of her ultimate, or if you're looking for just more of like a constant damage with her charge attacks. But honestly, the main reason why I like Ganyu the most is because of her playstyle of being able to stay away from enemies and bombard them with charge attacks. So the weapons for Ganyu. The most sought out weapon currently for her is definitely the Amos bow. It definitely has a very good substat and also skill because you get an increase in attack and charge attack damage. However, the more and more I play around with the Skyward Harp, the increased critical damage and also just the increased crit rate definitely helps in terms of not having to build too much crits on her, but she already has a built-in mechanic where she can crit with her talent. So those two are definitely the 5-star weapons that you would want to go for if you have them or if you can go for them. But if you are free to play, or even if you bought like the BP bow is not as bad, and the Blackcliff Warbow is also pretty good. But if you don't have neither of those options, the Prototype Crescent, you should have at least one bow prototype that if you've played through the game and you didn't use it, then you should be able to make it. The Prototype Crescent is going to be fine. And for artifacts, there are the usual. You can build 2-piece gladiators and 2-piece blizzard strayer. That's just for like main DPS, although in my opinion the full set of blizzard strayer seems to be a whole lot better. For earlier on, if you just started and you pulled Ganyu, even a 2-piece berserker and 2-piece gladiator can work. It's fine. Just anything that could help you increase your critical rate or cryo damage, or just your attack in general. Alright, so for the main two sets that I think is going to be really good on Ganyu, is definitely going to be the Blizzard Strayer set, in my opinion, because of the effects. And definitely another one that would be really good is, of course, everyone's favorite Amber set, which is the Wanderer's Troop. Honestly, I have not tried out the Wanderer's Troop because it's definitely a really hard artifact to farm consistently. So the Blizzard Strayer, since you can just farm them from a dungeon, at least you can still get the equipments as easier at least than just farming world bosses for it. So we're just going to skim through the talents. If you are going to be an offensive DPS, your main priority is going to be your normal attacks, followed by your elemental burst and elemental skill. While if you're a support, then you should probably focus on elemental burst and skill, because you're not going to be using your normal attacks because you're going to be switching to other characters. So now we're coming into teams. There are 2 ways you can play Ganyu. So you can play her as a support, as stated by Mihoyo, or you can play her as a full DPS, as a main DPS actually. And in my opinion, the main DPS team that I really like has to consist of Albedo, mainly because of Albedo's crazy damage that you can get with his E, because that the combo of Ganyu, Albedo, and Venti, like as I'm going to probably put in a video here of just me demolishing one of the domains with just these the three combos with my fiance when we were playing. It is insane on how much AoE damage you can get. You can also replicate the same thing by just using Sucrose. In my opinion, Amber might actually be a really good support. I still haven't fully tested it out yet. I've tested it with her ultimate, and it does actually trigger a whole lot of melt damage. And honestly, a full 4 team that I would like, the main team that I use is Ganyu, Albedo, Child, and Bennett. But you can actually replace Child with Diona instead, because that will give you the resonance and, you know, a better healer and possibly some shields. Like Bennett could also actually be pulled out for Venti or Sucrose if you have them. So when we're talking about Ganyu as a support, she's really good at supporting characters like Klee, because if you activate both ultimates and Klee stays on the field, melt reactions is just going to trigger everywhere, and it's going to actually be absolutely nutty. A physical damage Kaching could also take basically full force, the full use of like her ultimate, because you can apply superconduct to anything basically in the area if you just hit them with an electro skill, which also works for other physical damage dealers like maybe Fischl or Kaya even. Razor is also a very good option for her. And in my opinion, she is the most broken, especially if you use her ultimate with Child, because with the Hydro set and Ganyu's ultimate, Child's E will decimate anything in the area. And it'll constantly be frozen. Nothing's gonna get out. So you'll just have free reign in that area. These are sort of the things that I want to talk about Ganyu, and honestly on why I'm pretty happy with how MiHoYo has made Ganyu out to be. I know there's some parts of the community that is not really that appreciative of her dealing so much damage when she is supposed to be considered a support, because we had the entire Zhongli fiasco. But I think if you are pulling for a 5-star character, this is what you should get. What happened with Zhongli should have been just a one-time thing. Even Albedo got what was really good for him. He became a really good support, a really good added damage to the field every time he had his E up. And he could just swap in and use his E, his ultimate, and then he'll just move on. So we want more designs like this, where if you pull a 5-star character, you will feel rewarded, not feel as if you could have done better with a 4-star character. That's just my general opinion with how everything should be handled with 5-star characters. And if you're one of those people who's saying that, you know, Ganyu should just be a support, should just stick to one role, I mean, you can say that, but at the same time, you do have people out there who are playing DPS Barbaras, and nobody's complaining about that. So I think it's fine. It's a PvE game. Nothing's gonna matter if you make a character a little bit broken. Sure, don't make him or her stupid. Like, just make her enjoyable. Like, make him or her enjoyable so that everyone gets to have fun. So that when you're forced to play any of these characters, like if you go into a domain and Zhongli is the only Geo character that you have that's like good and built, you won't feel like a chore when you're left alone to do the dungeon and like, oh no, I don't have any damage because I'm a support. I can't do anything without anyone else. Yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit long. I'll try to cut it to see what I can shave off. And yeah, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.